Okay, I'm admitting everyone.
Hello, dear friends from Jerusalem. Welcome, everyone, to our weekly vigil on behalf of the situation in the Middle East. Week after week, we're so grateful that so many of us keep up the continual rhythmic flow of the will to love and the will to peace. Welcome to the vigil. I don't have so much to share today. The war is going on, and it seems to lead nowhere. There are no agreements, lots of casualties, lots of misery. It stirs turmoil in world opinions and in world narratives. Nowadays, I personally am dealing with narratives, stories on both sides that lead to beliefs that lead to glamour. And this leads to indoctrination. Both sides are anchoring onto those beliefs and anchoring to their righteousness also. And I stand in the middle of it, identified with none, and aching the human pain inflicted by ourselves, and actually feeling quite isolated. Reality is very complex. So at this time, I try to keep as balanced as I can, as I'm capable of, physically, emotionally, and mentally, and keep on keeping on in my work. And this is what I have to share today before we begin the meditation. Thank you so very much, one, for listening, and thank you for supporting the vigil. The energy you bring by being here is a real balm for the area. So many blessings. Over to you, Uta.
Yeah, thank you very much, Helen, for this sharing from the heart, straight as it is. I think this is really what we need to hear, what we need to share with each other, so we meet in this reality, yeah, by authentic sharing. Thank you so much. And just saw in the chat, Helen, you have already 2 beautiful messages, 3 already. So there's a lot of love around, and it is good to really share this at this time where things look pretty bleak. And we do what we can to hold space for whatever needs now to work out. So let us do our work, our contribution. And as you say, first of all, to hold our own balance. So starting with a breath and with letting go of everything and touching base with our inner space, inner silence, inner sanctuary. Through our body, let us connect with the earth, as she is our common shared home. And feeling into our heart, giving space to our heart. Making it radiant. With a warm radiance. And letting our mind expand into this inner silence, this silent space. Holding this silent space. And joining now, coming together as souls, as silent watchers. And visualizing standing together in a circle of care around Israel and the Palestinian areas. And visualizing many people from all over the world joining our circle. And just taking a moment to just hold a heart space together. Witnessing, letting our heart witness. And letting our minds gently gel into one telepathic field. Holding, standing in the will to peace. And sensing now the higher forces, our higher co-workers standing with us, forming a protective, strengthening circle around ours. And taking a moment to feel this love that comes from them, the will to love, stabilizing us, letting it affect our heart. And with open hearts, as impartial observers, Let us now focus in on the region, starting with the area of Israel, allowing ourselves, on the one hand, being detached, on the other hand, sensing into the psyche, into the atmosphere in Israel. The emotional and the mental field of Israel. Now turning our awareness to the West Bank, the happenings there, and the emotional and mental space. And now turning our eyes, inner eyes, to the Gaza Strip, standing in silent witnessing, breathing, remaining in our alignment, just holding space. And focusing in now on the border between Gaza and Egypt, where most of the Gazans are now. And sensing into Egypt, into the consciousness of Egypt as it relates to what is happening in Gaza. Just witnessing. And sensing now into Jordan, into this energy, this consciousness. Into Syria, to the east, northeast. And Lebanon in the north. Holding this whole area now, being aware that it is part of this wider Middle East region, all affected by this war. And as we do so, let us touch back for a moment with our higher co-workers, feeling them standing behind us, aligning with the stream of the will to love coming from them. Feeling it stabilizing our heart, that place between the shoulder blades, where love and will unite. And standing in the will to love, between our higher co-workers and the people of this area of war. Remembering that we are all souls, sisters and brothers in the one human family. And as a group, let us project this. Let us invoke the soul consciousness of all inhabitants. Let us visualize the inhabitants moving through the suffering towards soul awareness. And let us accompany this process with our love. This process of letting pain bring due reward of light and love. Let us sense now, coming from our higher co-workers, a shaft of pure golden white soul light streaming through us, through each of our hearts, broad and brilliant, pouring through us and out onto this area. And let our combined soul light flood now the whole area. Just letting it flow through. See this clarifying, strengthening light surrounding now, especially the thinkers on both sides, and in other nations, those who work behind the scenes for a true solution, which takes into account the highest good of all. Let us see these peace workers of the new era being aligned with their souls, with their higher guidance, being held in a protective space. And visualize these thinkers evolving new ways towards resolution, inspired by on high, and firmly based on our common humanness. Putting all our forces together for this. And by this effort, see the mental space over this whole area becoming lighter, brighter, more penetrable to soul energy. And visualize the soul energy flowing through into the emotional sphere, soothing, reordering, soothing. Like a warm, soft blanket. And see it flowing down into the earth. Visualize the soul light penetrating into the earth underneath the area. Coming in contact with these ancient patterns of war that are still being held there, that are now ready to be transmuted. Visualize the light starting to dissolve these ancient patterns. Just hold it. Hold space for this to happen. Seeing this purifying energy flowing through. And see this energy supporting the many small local initiatives on both sides that are born out of the pain. Slowly gathering a will for another way. And in this way, let us visualize the seeds of a higher order slowly appearing in the region. Out of all these everyday small sparks of light, small acts of kindness. See a higher order based on right relations taking shape in the entire Middle East, bit by bit. Let's take a moment to hold space for this possibility. And let this possibility, this light, this hope go out, this soul light, go out now as a blessing throughout the world, to all these places where humans inflict pain on others. Just standing in soul light. Affirming it. And as we sound now a great invocation in Hebrew and in Arabic, let us radiate the possibility of a new day into the consciousness of the people in the Middle East.
נקודת האור, אשר בדעת אל, זרום האור אל דעת האדם. ירד האור על פני האדמה. מנקודת האהבה אשר בלב האל, זרום האהבה אל לבבות אנוש. ישוב מורה עולם על פני האדמה. מהמרכז שבו נודע רצון האל, תנחה תכלית את רצונות אדם. תכלית אותה מורי האנושות יודעים ומשרתים. המרכז אשר נקרא המין האנושי. שם תוכנית האהבה והאור, ויחתם הפתח אל הרע. יהי רצון, יחדשו אור, אהבה ועוצמה. התוכנית על פני האדמה.
من نقطة النور في العقل الإلهي ليشع النور في عقول الناس وليهبط النور إلى الأرض. من نقطة الحب في القلب الإلهي ليتسرب الحب إلى قلوب الناس وليرجع معلم الكون إلى الأرض. من المركز الذي تعرف منها إرادة الله لتقود الغاية إرادة الناس البسيطة، تلك الغاية التي يدركها المعلمون ويخدمونها. من المركز الذي ندعم بالجنس البشري لينتج تسمين الحب والنور ويختم على الباب الذي يقيم به الشر، ليجدد النور والحب والقوة التسمين على الأرض. الله أمين. Oh